Tov. We are in Siman Memtet of the Shemeshum again, and here he speaks about watches. So it's understood and agreed by all that if you have a watch that has a battery in it, you can't stop it on Shabbat to change the time or anything like that. That's agreed upon, no machloket. Similarly, he doesn't speak about this, but smart watches, one has to be careful not to wear them on Shabbat, or the type of watches that monitor your steps or things like that, because even sometimes with a switch, everything that it lights up, things are going on over there. So that as well is that not allowed on Shabbat. Now, what about watches that are totally mechanical and don't have any battery at all? And a lot of the fancy watches have this, that you wind the watch, and now it's good to go. And the truth is, with movements of your arms, that actually adds to the movement of the watch, and it keeps on going based on that. There's no batteries. So on that, the following. Everybody agrees that if it's stopped, let's say the watch has been stopped because if you don't wear it for a certain amount of time, the watch stops and you have to rewind it. So everybody agrees that if it's stopped already, you can't wind it on Shabbat. That everyone, even though it's mechanical, it's like metaken mana, it's like you're fixing a dead object, so to speak. The question is, if it's wound up already, so now it's going on its own. So everybody agrees as well that if you're wearing it on Shabbat, I wound it already Erev Shabbat. Now I'm wearing it on Shabbat. Now every time I move my arm, it's adding to the mechanical movements. That's okay. It's already been wound up. And also sometimes wound up could last for a couple days without doing anything, even just leaving it there. But everybody agrees you're moving your natural, walking around your natural life. You're not thinking, oh, I'm moving my arm so I could wind it up even more. You already wound it up before Shabbat. Any movement is okay on Shabbat. Where there's a machloket between Rav Avadia Yosef and Rabbi Shalom Asas is if I already wound it up before Shabbat, and now on Shabbat I want to change the time, where it seems like if I change the time, it won't affect, the mechanics are still going on behind the scenes. So can I change the time on those type of watches? That Rabbi Avadia Yosef says, yes, you can, he's lenient. And Rabbi Shalom says you cannot. So there's still a metaken mana there. He says that also maybe it's a marit ayin for battery watches. Rabbi Avadia Yosef says you can change the time on those type of watches if it's already in movement. Rabbi Shalom says is stringent. And then the next thing is, can you wind it up while it's already been wound up, it's going. And now can I wind it up further on Shabbat because it's already been wound up? And that as well, Rabbi Avadia says yes, and Rabbi Shalom Asas says no. So we want to be strict. We're Moroccan, Rabbi Shalom Asas on this one. So that is that for the watch shiur.
What about just a regular watch? Can we change the time?
No, a regular watch is a battery watch. A regular watch is a battery watch. You cannot. What? So
Just regular wine.
oh, so regular is wine. That's what we're speaking about. So that Rabbi Shalom Asas says no. Rabbi Avadia says yes. Rabbi Shalom Asas says no because it's either marit ayin for battery watches, because battery watches you're actually stopping it and starting it again, right? Rabbi Avadia Yosef says the mechanics are working behind the scenes already, and therefore you could change the time. It's a chidush. It's a chidush to me as well, where I see this, that he's arguing on Rabbi Avadia Yosef. I said, what? Rabbi Avadia Yosef? And I looked into it more. Yes, he says you could change the time on a mechanical watch that's already working behind the scenes and no battery. You could change the time. It's Rabbi Avadia Yosef. But so I'm pretty sure the winding, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, I don't have a wind-up watch, but if it's already wound up, now I pause, now I want to wind it more, it stops the whole mechanics, right? When you do that, I think. It doesn't?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. So that's what I think is, that's what from the learning as well, I saw that it doesn't. I thought that it does. So it doesn't. So that's why Rav Avadia allows even winding and even changing the time if it's already been wound up before Shabbat. So that's what he says. But Rabbi Shalom Asas says no. Even on if it's wound already, even though it's working, you cannot change the time. It cannot change the thing. Shulchan doesn't speak about the wound up watch. It's more of a modern question. So it's a good question. I mean, if we go with the Rishon Masas, the Moroccan tzaddik, there's room in these type of things. It's kind of like there's room to be lenient if you need to be lenient. Like if, let's say there's a crisis or I don't know how there could be a crisis with a white situation. I know, but, I don't know, sometimes let's say, be on one time, you have to be on time, whatever it is, and my watch is a little bit off, I'm going to forget. If it's a crazy, okay, maybe I can be lenient this time, like Rav Yosef. There's what to rely on let's say I need to change the time on a mechanical watch, right? Maybe in general, to say like, you know what, it's not such a big deal. I wind it before Shabbat anyways. I set the time before Shabbat anyways, and I'm good to go, right? So to go on Shabbat, so that's okay. That's like timers and things like that. Yeah, no, you can't turn it off. But yeah, so good question, Oren. As far as like, so where do we go? These are great tzaddikim. Rabbi Avad Yosef, right? Huh? Yeah. Okay. So look, we're going with Rabbi Shalom Asas. Was the chief rabbi of Yerushalayim and the posek of and the is it what? No, it wasn't. He passed away 15 years ago, 20 years ago. He passed away. Rishon Masas. That's why he's arguing on Rabbi Avad Yosef, right? In recent times. So this is a modern question with modern poskim that are discussing it. Rabbi Avad Yosef is lenient in this case. Rishon Masas is stringent in this case. There's going to be a next case tomorrow similar to this. How do we go like? So it's so you're right. It's how do we go like? I would say. So I think in these cases, okay, ask your local rabbi. What I would say is try to be stringent. If you need to, you have what to rely on to be lenient in this type of case. To add to the. Okay, we'll talk about it. This is another question tomorrow as far as hot water. Can you add hot water to your dafina or not? Okay, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay, mincha tonight at 7:10. Baruch Hashem, we got a lot of discussion out of this one. Yeah, minyan is needed. It helped for mincha, please. So mincha at 7:10 and arvit following, and that's it. Have a good day, everyone. Tana de Viliel.